The name is POV Podcast. I am Kate Shira, and you're at the Tweever Studios. Yet another episode where Kama Kawaida, we take a look at people's lives from their POV, literally their point of view, how they've been, how they did it. And the lady today that I'm hosting, well, her songs have warmed up so many hearts, have been on your phone, have been in your matatus, have been in concerts, have been everywhere. If you have never heard Fena Gitu, probably you're living under a rock. Kama ujijui. She's an East African artist. She's not just a Kenyan artist, East African and African artist who has carved her mark in creating not only neo-soul but also Afropop music in Kenya. And how I met Fena is a funny story. We're going to get into that, but welcome to the show.
I'm on POV.
You made it, mama. I made it.
Hey, nimefanya kazi kweli.
Ukifika POV umefanya.
Mazee umemake it. It's good to see you.
I'm so happy. You're one of the few people who really encouraged me on Twitter. You're like, I've seen your podcast.
Yeah, the first episode really blew my mind. I was so happy to see you in your element. Mm-hmm. You've grown. You sound still as grown as I left you. It's so good. I'm proud of you. Yeah.
You know, fun fact, for those who do not know, I used to be Fena's intern.
It wasn't my intern. It was
whose intern was
my producer's intern.
Yes. I used to be Jazz Odongo's intern, one of the first producers you worked with when you're starting your music. And it was so great to see music being made for me. Yeah. Because mimi nilikuwa kwa studio tu naona niko kai wanatengeneza music.
Na ilikuwa muziki excellent at that time.
How many tracks did you do with Jazz?
We did an album. Yeah, Phenomenon. Yes, Phenomenon was the album we did together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was Tim on it? Because I remember I used to intern for Jazz and Tim Rumbuya at the same time.
No, I didn't get to work with Tim on that. But I think I worked on a project for Fee or something.
Yeah.
And then those projects they used to do like Airtel... Air Dash jam sessions. And then I don't know, other projects, but we didn't work on music together.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's for, I won't lie, Fena has seen me grow and I've seen her grow.
Yeah.
You know, intern to podcaster
to
upcoming
radio
musician
presenter.
To, you know, now becoming one of the biggest artists in East Africa. How do you feel?
It's crazy. I don't think I've ever really clocked it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I forget.
You forget that you're Fena.
You guys, I could be walking with these torn jeans and slippers, and then guys come to say hi. I'm like, oh wait,
let's take a selfie.
Yeah, like then I remember, oh, okay, I have to present myself, you know, in different ways and da 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 da. But I mean, it's great. It has its perks. I can see the growth. I can feel the growth. I can feel a new energy for me. So I'm excited to see where we're going now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember sincerely, with all sincereness, the conversations we had with Jazz when you were starting out. And we're always like, how do we push this music? How do we push it out there? And you've said you've always been so free, but Angoma, the likes, not as sleepers and the likes. Yeah. Fena is just chilling. You've never been that, you know, you've never been that girl who's always out there, probably with lashes and all that kind of hair. When needed. Yeah. And I remember we had that conversation, and Jazz can put a stamp on it. We had that conversation because we're like, how do we push the music? Because, you know, when you're working in a studio, all of you guys want to see the success of your work. Yeah. And one of the biggest pushes was like, we really want to make you look commercial or palatable to everyone. And you defied that completely.
Yeah. It just didn't clock for me. I didn't know how to change myself for people, because I feel like that sets you up for people's approval consistently and forever. So if I choose one day to do lashes and heels, it's because I chose to do it, not because I was packaged this way for people to like me.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think
you did feel the pressure at one point.
Yeah, in the very beginning, my style was different. This boyish, just like casual. Sometimes I'll super dress up, but I'm in a suit.
Yes.
And it's like, what's going on? So it was a tough climb. But I think the more people just see, and you don't care about what they think, they kind of just back off and let you do your thing. So that's given me room to experiment and just explore myself in different contexts, in the social space, being able to interact with fans openly, and still being able to draw a line of accessibility. It's been a process of learning also.
I like that.
Yeah, because pia mtazoeana vibaya huku nje.
Yeah?
Yeah, so it's also a lesson I've learned over the years.
To put a thin line between my fans, my friends, and how you can be close to me.
Yeah.
Because then people feel like, do you call it validation? What do you call it? When you feel warranted that you deserve someone. Or deserve something from them.
We're seeking validation.
Not validation. You see, the way we expect the government to give us roads. What is that called? Entitlement, yes.
Yes.
The fine line between your artist feeling entitled to you. Like, you need to say hi to me, you need to look a certain way.
You have to smile all the time.
You have to smile a certain way.
You have to take a picture. I don't have to take a picture. I'm not being a bitch or anything. It's maybe you've met me at 3 a.m. in the club when I'm lit. And then you've been seeing me in the club the whole night. You could have said hi at any point.
Yeah.
So usually I'll gauge. I'll be like, okay, I mean, I've seen you checking me out the whole time and you didn't say anything. Now when it's late, you want to take a picture. I'll just be like, imagine it's okay, just this moment of meeting each other. And I'll always try and tell you that, like, me, I'm just happy to meet you. I'm not in the mood to take a picture right now. Maybe next time if you see me,
we can do that.
We can do that. So it's a learning process. Sometimes I'm just like, let's take all the pictures in the world,
Let's go crazy.
Yeah, let's go crazy. So balance, it's important, or you lose your mind in this space.
Yes, and because people want to put you in a package. And I remember when we had that conversation with Jazz then, we thought that was the way to make it palatable. We're like, for a girl to look like this, she has to wear short skirts, titties out and everything. But you stuck to your guns. You're like, no, we're not going to do it like this.
Yeah.
We're going to let the art speak.
Yep.
Yep.
And
I love that.
I'm a musician first before anything else.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you ever done any other job, by the way?
Not 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Sijaifanya kazi ofisi. But I was a driver at some point.
No!
I was doing deliveries for water to offices and homes. Sonkwa na endeshaki matatu fulani. Nena nikidu
matatu?
See, those
vans.
I swear.
Van. Van do
like
matatu.
Matatu van.
Okay. You were delivering water?
Imagine. My friends have a company called LVN Water. So they were looking out for me because I didn't have a job, I didn't have gigs.
Yeah.
Nimeboeka niko home, nimesota. So they just gave me the keys, you drive around, do the deliveries.
So which route were you delivering at?
Every day there was a different route.
Yeah.
So Ngong Road, sometimes then sides Eastlands, Kariobangi, like everywhere in Nairobi.
Ulikuwa unakunywa maji ama ulikuwa deliver?
Sasa mimi napewa yangu ya kushikilia na pota pia yako na maji, then sasa yeye ndo anabeba. Mimi tu niko nganga kwa streets. Me, I love driving, so that for me wasn't even a job.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been employed in any other context.
Yeah.
No, I've always been.
That's the only other job you've done.
Yeah, self-employed.
Umekuwa mtu anduthi hapa na utuambie.
Mazee, mimi kwa streets niko heavy. Na move.
I like that. I remember we were discussing with your management just before you came about you studying in USIU. And you did psychology.
Yeah. I'm smiling because nimekuda.
Jienjoy badani yako. You did psychology and
international relations. Yeah.
But you've never gotten to use it anywhere.
Not really. I guess just the skills you pick up in school. I've used those, and then I tend to be very diplomatic anyway. So that really applies in my work. Relating with people across different boundaries in the world, that also plays a part. I'm interested in foreign policy still, so I'm always...
Sorry to cut you off just a little bit. So in an alternate universe, if there was no phenomenal music...
Oh yeah, I'd be a diplomat.
Real fast?
Oh yeah, very fast.
Pick a country. We'll talk to the president.
I know this is cliche and not even because of anything, but I'd like to do the States. I know, either the States or some random European country. Let me explain why.
Okay, explain. Because now I have to take a sip.
The power of that passport, so once you can, I think once you have like a US visa or something, it really opens up.
Did you ulikuwa USIU, babe? Sikizirizo nyingine, imagine.
Gang for life, America. No, and I think it's, I mean, just the power it has. It's not they've proven over the years that Africa is actually probably superior.
Of course, in so many ways, yeah.
But it still unlocks so many doors across the world that I would be better placed, you know,
to have
more influence,
a passport in the US. And as you say that, I'm just remembering a lot of your friends have moved to the US, especially musicians.
Yeah, so that's a whole other conversation. But also I've made really good connections in the States. So I think I'd be curious to explore more of that. Europe,
have you done a
because
tour
not
in
yet.
the States? Okay.
No, I just went to chill. I'll explain why.
Yeah.
Europe, because Europe is so cool. They're so free. Like, if I didn't want to, I don't know, man. I think Europe would just be like tra-la-la for me. Just like anything goes.
You're walking in a field of sunflowers.
In a field of, what's that, Sound of Music? That big landscape, just all green and waterfalls.
You've taken me back.
Yeah.
You've been La La Land.
Yeah, those two contrasts for sure. In Africa, I would love to live in SA. Because it's SA, I think they move different.
I'd say SA for you because they take art very seriously.
Very seriously.
Yes.
I love their music. It's influenced me a lot growing up. So I like their culture. I like how they move. Lagos is too busy. Kigali, I'm curious about.
But you've been?
I haven't been to Kigali.
You haven't been to Kigali?
Yeah, so I'm trying to see how to plug in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clearly, it has helped you look at the world a little bit differently. I'll go back to the States and seeing a lot of musicians moving to the States, and most of them moving because they're not creating an income for themselves.
Yeah.
Nyashinsky, before he came back, he was trying to make a living for himself there, which he did. And you see that happening. And right now, some of the greatest artists that you've worked with and loved moved there completely.
Yeah.
What are some of the reasons they tell you? Because I bet you guys talk about it. What are some of the reasons why they moved away?
Do you know, actually, I don't ask.
Why?
I find that move so personal.
Yes.
Like, unless you tell me yourself, I won't really ask the details. But I assume it's because obviously the dollar power on that side. Here we've sung, and I feel like maybe some people just don't see anything beyond the ceiling that this industry has kind of created for us. I don't know if they're doing music or they've moved just to start a different life.
Yeah.
Because also another thing is, once you get to the States, you realize how you're just another guy. Like no one really cares unless you've built. So unless, like, say, for example, Nyash goes back now, he is Nyash now.
Yeah.
If Sauti Sol goes there now, they have that star quality. But if you're just playing in the Kenyan music scene, and then you go there, I feel like you really have to go with something special for them to take you now seriously in that context.
In the art.
Which is something people don't tell people back home. So like when I went to visit, I was like, hapa nikika sana tunaweza zoeana vibaya.
Yeah.
So stick to your close circle, stick to the, just because it's not easy. Like, those guys are hustling, not just, Kenyans in general are really working hard.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy as it seems. Yeah.
It's not all fun and games.
No, it's not.
Ulionatu wakifanya 9-hour jobs.
It's serious. No matter hata siwezi uliza msanii umeenda kufanya nini huko, you have to have your own reasons why you've gone.
Have you considered moving yourself?
I did briefly. And it's not something I'm opposed to.
Yes.
Entirely. I would be happy to. Because pia huku maisha tuna ni ngumu. But I wouldn't mind living there. It's just it's hard work. It's crazy.
It's even crazier going there.
Yeah.
It takes a serious leap of faith.
Lot or some resources that you find a soft landing. If you get a soft landing, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm working on building my soft landings. Then when the time comes, if the opportunity comes through, I'll be set.
I could say already here in Kenya you have such a soft landing. Let me tell you why. You're one of the artists who does not have to perform all year out to sustain themselves. You've had a very supportive family, a supportive lifestyle for yourself, something that's not common to so many people. Do you feel like things would have been different if you were in another setup? You know, because so many people say, oh, I'm an artist from Korogosho, Kayole.
Yeah.
Could make it for them and for you is not the same. We're not speaking the same languages.
Complicated question, because it's not like I came from wealth, like from money. I'm a rich kid who just was handed anything to them. I've self-built from scratch. My mom did her best to take me through school.
Yeah.
So after school, it was really me figuring out, okay, I want to do music. Okay, this thing, I don't even know how to go about it. I don't know where to start. Everything happened, I want to say serendipitously.
You know, Gani.
Everything kind of just fell in place, right place at the right time. Pia kujituma. As in, nimetoka Buru, so niko na hiyo kitu ya kujituma from a young age.
Yeah.
Just trying to plug into all the cool spaces, meet all the cool people. So I never sat in my house thinking, oh, my mom has done this and this for me, so now the world will give me everything I ask for. I had to get out and go for it.
Yes.
So not to say that someone in Korogosho, their circumstance is very different.
Yeah, of course.
But there's a different kind of drive that will get you out of there.
Of course, yeah, by the way.
So it boils down to you and your drive. Yeah.
And how far you want to take it.
Yeah. And what you're willing to do to go for what you're looking for.
I really love your growth. 2019, you released the Unleashed album. Before that, of course, was phenomenal. And everyone knows you for phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah.
You know you hit a jackpot when your first album is it. You know no one scores that.
I think every great musician's first album.
You think so?
Most first albums are the defining ones. And then the second one is often a hit or miss. For me, Unleashed was my second one, and it was a mix. I still can't tell what the reception was. I know it had huge songs in it.
Yes, it had a couple of bangers.
Yeah. And then the pandemic hit, so we didn't really get to milk it
as you wanted.
All it's worth.
Yeah.
And just to be able to explain and have people understand it. But for me, it was what do you call it? A transitional project.
Yes.
That's still excellent. Then now, this third one is kind of where I feel like I've landed softly somewhere comfortable. Then now to push myself to see what the next body of work will be.
Wow.
Yeah.
This latest album is known Love ArtLust. When you say art, it has to art. Let's make it R. ArtLust. And the last is not last.
It's not
it's last with you. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's still being cool. You know what I mean?
Akuna. Why are you saying Love ArtLust?
Because Love ArtLust, initially, I mean, that was the idea. The last few years has been introspection. So self-love, a lot of self-love driving the project. So kujipenda ndo inafungua kupenda na kupendana na kupendwa. Then now kind of playing wordplay on art and last. To mean art, this life we're living where it's a blank canvas and you get to paint out.
Literally, that's the album cover.
The
I'm
album
excited because
cover.
Fena is there, and when you look at the cover, she looks like she's painting something.
Yeah, and it's me painting myself because I'm looking at myself, looking into my own life. And then last is just the sensuality of the album, the nuances of sensuality in it. Yeah.
I really love it. It's interesting. I got to listen to a couple of tracks. Of course, the great bangers, coudn't, it is compulated with Brandy, Minor, Dufla Deligon, and then a lot of them solo. Love is so many beautiful. And I know you a lot of your inspiration is the likes of Jill Scott. You know, that's the kind of sound you're always up to.
Yeah.
And I can imagine introducing your sound to Kenya was a tall order.
Very, very, very. But funny thing is, because my first song was Down, a song called Down, and it was on the Capitol charts for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Number one, bubbling under for 6 weeks. I was like, whoa, okay, we're on to something. But Capital was very niche.
Yes. So when you say that, I'm just like, eh.
You know, but the idea that I can be on a radio station, one
That
of
was
the
enough.
top stations, and you're leading, and it's a sound people don't even relate to like that, was encouraging to do Phenomenal Woman, which now stayed on the charts for long and kind of crossed over into mainstream radio.
Very
but
easily.
still very niche. But that gave me, what do you call it, a foundation to do more live, to get into live spaces. So
Because you felt like people who enjoy or consume your music would hear it better if it came with a band.
Yeah, if it's done live.
Yes.
Also pushing myself as a musician. Then I think the more that happened, more people just started to pay attention to this new alt sound of Nairobi, and more people started coming up also with the alt sound.
I wouldn't lie. You, Sauti Soul, Antonio Soul, Heart the Band.
Elani.
Elanis. Oh my, how dare I forget? Elani, Fee, among many, Blinky Bill, Muthoni Drama. I'm about to forget some people. Ntachapwa. Kagwe.
Della was, did you know Della was in Elani at the very
No!
beginning? At the very beginning, she was in Elani. And then she left before Elani started dropping music.
Okay.
I hope I've told it correctly. But yeah, I remember that.
Okay. So, you guys kind of steered a different sound of music, because we're used to Genge and Kapuka, and now we have these soulful kind of sounds coming in. But I can imagine the number of people who were saying no. How many people said no to you? Because
it's crazy that even, well, achasta choma picha.
Choma, tuko na maji tutapoesha.
Siku hizi tunaenda international.
Okay.
Sitaki kuchomea wase, but kuna mtu aliniambia, and it's someone very like prominent. Kambia, mbona unaimba hizi ngoma na kizungu? Kizungu haiwezi kufikisha mahali kwa hii industry ya Kenya. Anza kuimba na Kiswahili. Ngamwangalia akisema, like, noted. Now what more can you say? It's like noted with thanks. Man, tachoma. But tuseme tu eventually alikam kujua that pia hiyo kizungu nafanya na sifanyi kizungu pekee, itani push to other markets, itanifungulia njia in other ways.
Yeah.
But I've never forgotten, you know. So it wasn't easy breaking into, honestly, I really had a tough come up, and it's still tough.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's still tough, but I feel like I've grown another layer of skin that nowadays it's just like I told you as I was walking in, like, if someone, do people cuss on this podcast?
Yeah, sure.
If you fuck with me, I fuck with you.
Simple
as that. I won't force myself on anyone, my music on anyone. I think people who get it really do and appreciate the work that goes behind it, the intention behind it. So focus on those guys. And that's one of the biggest lessons these last 3 years have taught me.
Yeah.
Because I was starting to get frustrated, chasing numbers. It's like, natoa ngoma, hii ngoma ni kali, haisongi, haiendi mahali. Nikajiambia, actually, wenye wanasikiza ni watu wako, au ndio watu wako. So
there's a community, there's a Fena community that exists already.
Yeah. So
what do you call them?
Fenatics.
Fenatics. Yes, sorry, I forgot that.
Phenomenal style. Drip, come on, gang. So that's the community we've been building, and now feels like is growing even more. Is becoming stronger. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like we're trying to be anything other than what we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a sad history of soulful musicians, and you know it so well. I remember when the first Blankets we met was at Blankets and Wine, a very regular event that hosts this kinds of music, your kind of music. Not very commercial music, soulful and stuff. And one of the first ones we met was at Mamba Village in Karen. So it was me. I was there, and I remember I was just there for fun.
Yeah.
Giuliani was performing, and so was Harikimani. And sadly, there's a fate that falls musicians of your kind of genre. Because of that very frustration. I know a guy, I don't even know his name, I forget, but his song was so soulful, it was nice. And these days, he's seen in just dens drinking. Doesn't look good.
I saw that story.
And you see also with Hari Kimani, sadly, which he's okay now, he's doing much, but I think he's releasing music now. I recently saw him at Kagwe Mungai's album launch.
Yeah.
There's a fate that falls artist when they're not as commercially accepted as others. Because Simon like Harry was doing quite well, and then we didn't hear from him for a very long time.
Yeah.
What happens? I want to know, because it's kind of, it sucks for anyone to do so well, to produce such great music, and then still feel frustrated by the same people they love.
Yeah, that's the bane of our existence. And so, like, I've come close to quitting so many times. So, like, there are days I wake up, I text these guys, I'm like, you watu, simuendelee kazi muimbe, mimi nimechoka.
Si hata nyi mtoe mangoma.
Si hata nyi mtoe mangoma. Kwanza venye mnavanga vizuri. Simkuje mkae hapa muongee hii story. And it's taken years to find a support system like that.
Yes.
Right? So without that, I remember falling into depression 2015. This was after my first album. Because after a while, the money I'd made from doing the first album, I mean, it runs out.
Yes.
And then, I don't know, very different circumstances, things happened. And I wasn't booking shows. I wasn't crossing over into mainstream.
The way you want.
The way I'd like.
Yes.
So it became depressive, like, wasa how I relate, wasa hawaelewi, kwani ni nini, sifanyi. And you're pushing, and you're making, unaandika hivi, unafanya hivi kalamu, unaandika mziki.
Ndio ishike.
Alafu mtu anakuja kikombe matatu, tuko watatu.
Kaveve, kazoze.
Sijasema.
Mi nimesema, fanyeni vile mtafanya.
Mimi nataka.
Si unajua mimi sijalingi.
Make it.
Ni sawa, mimi nimesema Kenya nimesema.
But sasa imagine, nimefanya album ya 3 years, nimekaa chini na album for 3 years. Then mtu anakama natoa song Evo, na endo na hit, na life yake na change, na forever they become the superstar of life. And then you've been pushing, and you don't really have much to show for it. That's the unfortunate fate of the non-commercial
Musician.
path,
Yes.
right? However, a lesson I'm learning, and I've learned, is, again, it comes back right down to you and your drive and your intentions and your support system and your conviction for the work you're doing, and the vision you have. Are you doing it for you? Are there people relying on you? Kujiamini, yani, to the point that even when you're at your lowest, one day itajipa somehow.
Kuna venye itajipa.
Kuna venye itajipa, hata ka si the level yenye unaona ni Burna Boy. But ni possible. You never know.
But it's so funny, if you look at it, Burna Boy's music wasn't as palatable before.
Yes.
If you look at some of the songs, Dongodo, Nini, some of them were not the most palatable, not so commercial.
Yet those were like amazing songs. Like Dongogo was one of my favorite songs.
Me too. Ndio maana imekuwa ya kwanza.
Kama angechoka, because even people were hating on him consistently.
Yeah.
But that drive, that self-awareness, I think that thing will pull you out of such dark places. Some people, unfortunately, are not able to do it, to pull themselves out of the darkness. You can only just, feel compassionate for them and hope that maybe one day they'll keep digging.
Until they see the light.
Yeah.
So 2015, you're falling into the deep end. What were the characteristics of this deep time? How were you? As a person, do you remember yourself?
Man, I have blanks from 2015 to 16. It was kind of zombie mode. Like I had nothing inspiring me. I'd given up completely. I'd hippered home.
No.
I went to stay at my bestie's house at the time for like 6 months. Usiku mattress inaekwa kwa living room floor, tunalala, asubuhi nairudisha kwa bedroom.
Ini yesto gani unakaa?
Langata, nilikuwa nimehipea Langata.
Umehipa Langata 6. Na beshte yako anakusustain aje?
So pia like tuna pull two resources, but I didn't even have anything to offer. So pia mimi na feel guilty kukaa kwa nyumba ya mtu na siwezi hata changia hata rent, like sina do. I remember one time, my favorite come up story was, someday I needed tissue in the house. Na nilikuwa nakwenda place naeka mabob. Ka collect hizo mabob hadi 25 bob, nikaenda shop. Nipe tissue. kaniambia tissue ni 30 bob. Nikamwagia hizo macoins
mpaka zifike 5
kafika 25. Nikamwangalia akaona huyu akanitolea ile inakuanga huko nyuma ile yenye unararua inatokana yote.
Guy,
but buratita she had one ply hata sijui. So after that, I think this is so random, like this is just a random fact about me. I always buy 3-ply tissue.
From then on?
From that, like from when I came back now to, life.
Yes.
I make it my own small thing, like my own little reminder.
Luxury.
Of, yeah. So mimi nyumba yangu hata kasi na food, tissue tutatumia 3-ply.
Girls know. Wasichana najua 1-ply tissue aje bro. Hata 2-ply sometimes is not luxury, you need 3-ply.
Yeah, so I couldn't go to studio because I can't afford to go record music. And then you're remembering when you had money. So you're asking yourself, unajiuliza nini nilifanya wrong? And the way I was generous. I was, I reinvested in some songs. Then ikaisha tu. So pia pesa huisha. Salimia watu. So it was tough. And then I don't know how I caught this break. I got like 20 Gs. I called Mush King. I went to studio, did a song with, what's it called? Jack on the beat.
That has to be good.
Semangwe. So Semangwe just changed my fortune again. And even in that time out, I was really in my head. Like I was just trying to think, what do I do? Where do I move from here? It was such a turning point. So even sonically, I understood how to write for the masses and how to write for my niche. Yeah. So Semangwe happened, Kama Kawaida happened, back to back. So I got into that flow.
Yeah.
And then it just
switch literally.
Yeah, it started switching back on. And with the foundation I'd built from the years before, it just now took me off.
I won't lie. I think that was the time I was probably in my second year in radio, third year in radio, when you were releasing those tracks. No, I think I was leaving that radio. And it was
back to back.
Every other time Fena has something nice.
Yeah.
So sometimes you probably need that downtime.
Yes.
It's okay to be down for a minute.
Allow yourself to go through it.
Yeah.
Don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself for it.
Yeah.
But allow yourself to feel the pain, to feel the loneliness, to feel the I'm not good enough. All those things will charge you up into flexing like, I am good enough. This is who I am.
What did you do to get that ka 20K? Ako kalikuta kwa
sijai hata kumbuka. Sijui ni gig niliitwa. Nikaokota do. But I think it was a gig, like a random gig that got me some cash flow.
Yeah.
Because a big issue actually with artistry is cash flow.
Yes.
So because even now that's our challenge, like being able now to release consistently and with high quality content.
Because you see, you started with high quality.
Hapo ndio ulijaribu.
I feel like we're speaking the same language because that was me as well. I started
so you can never go dumb it down, as we were talking about that. So I mean, just things kind of faith. I had faith in. I've always known this thing is mine. Like a gift ni yangu, sijui kitu ingine. Like this is the one thing I know. So do it to death. Like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your friend who housed you for so many years, housed her for 6 months.
Yeah.
Kabla niharibu hapa tabloids.
Yeah.
For 6 months. How did you move from that to now you're standing on your feet?
I mean, after 6 months, it got to a point where now I needed to go back home and kind of just detox and start rudi kwa nyumba ya madhe. Hizo shenanigans zote nikae tu home. At the end of the day, home is best.
Yes.
Atu ufanye nini mama yako hatai kujudge. We kuja nyumbani kapa. Kula vizuri,
figure
lala vizuri.
Out. Yeah.
She stopped stressing me about finding a job. Just let me be.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that helped me get back into my senses. Like just find my grounding again.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful also for those 6 months because mtu kujitolea kushikilia through all that. It wasn't easy.
Kwanza kama si familia tena. Even family sometimes can kind of be like, no.
Yeah. So finding a friend who'd be willing to take care of you for that long,
Yeah.
I think that was something I'm forever grateful for.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, then after that, slowly just getting back on my feet.
I really like that jump back to faith because we never hear those stories. We always hear success, success, success. We never hear where you stopped
Yeah.
and waited for a minute.
Yep.
Let's go back to Mama Shiro. The discussion of you performing and doing music and you getting a job.
Yeah.
When did we decide, Sawa Basi, we have accepted you're a musician?
My first album launch.
She already accepted?
That's when she accepted.
Wow.
That's 2014. So before, because I finished school in 2011. So those 3 years in between, like I'll do a blankets here, I'll do a Fena live somewhere, but it's not consistent gigs. I hadn't figured out the business side of music. So mi nilikuwa tu naenda kuchukua pesa ya kwenda kwa bar. Like it wasn't a business yet. So for her it was just like, you're home bumming every day.
And then Saturday ndio unaenda mahali.
Alafu natoka home Thursday narudi home
Monday.
Like
Hiyo sio kazi.
So hata I remember one day my cousin came and asked me, lakini Fena, ukisema unaenda kuimba, unaimba nini ama una dance nini? So I think my mom asked my cousin, like what does she get up to, because she disappears for days ama anaenda usiku, anasema ameenda gig nedoe usiku alafu anaingia asubuhi. So she didn't understand what this thing is. Nikamwambia mom, I think maybe she thought I'm a stripper or something.
Because you see, for ladies, maybe women are not supposed to be out at night. You know,
you're
there's
just
that as well.
disappearing every night. So when I was finally doing the album launch, at the end of the night, she was just like, wow, okay.
This is what you usually do.
This is what you've been doing. And then seeing it now in that perspective, it was so cool. Like, it was so nice seeing that sparkle in her eye, like finally getting it.
Yeah.
From there, sijaulizwa tena.
Wow.
So that's why she's always at my gigs, like my main concerts, just to see how far this thing has grown.
Yes.
I like her to be there to see just
The
that
journey.
we're still doing something good.
Has she ever supported to pay some of your studio time and things like that?
Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
So she has rights in your music, eh?
Anapakwa
na rights zake. Ape royalties zake tafadhali.
Anachunga mtoto wake
Hakuna.
tafadhali. Nikimjengea nyumba hiyo sasa ndio itakuwa malipo.
Hapana, pewa watu royalties zao please. Watu watakuwa nalipia studio time hapa na warudishi. Haya.
Anamrudisha in other ways. But I mean, my family is very supportive.
Yeah.
I've had really tough situations where they're the ones who've pulled me out. Like my last album launch, my main sponsor pulled out 3 days to the event.
Oh no.
So
Did they tell you why?
It was a one-liner email.
We can't have support
But
you.
fuck you guys.
Hata mlipia ishaenda.
Hiyo kitu ilinipea stress because you've already set up the structure.
That
How are we
people
going to
paid,
pay
you expected there's
suppliers?
some money flowing already.
Yeah. Mom. Kumeenda kukawa. So my family has really pulled me out of the most craziest situations. So I have to work harder.
Yeah.
I have to pay it back somehow.
You owe them a lot. But also art is like that. Or art takes away a lot before it starts giving back.
Yeah.
But when it starts giving back, everyone can live off of you.
Yep.
When it starts giving back, it's like a Beyonce thing right there.
You know?
Tina Lawson, everyone is just winning from there.
I can't wait to see the ecosystem that builds around me when we make it.
Amen.
Yeah.
It has to happen.
Yeah.
It's already happening. We
It's
have
happening.
We have sweaters and all this management, so we're gonna make it there for sure.
And the team individually are doing their own things. They're building their own small empires.
Wow.
So being able to like use my resources whichever way, as long as I want to see you grow.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, there's always this question we ask artists, because I remember when I met you at that Blankets, I called you Kenya's Lauryn Hill. And you see, sadly, her musical journey stopped at one point. But I think she's still releasing a few tracks here and there.
Yeah.
Very subtly. We always expect artists who are deep into social issues, but you've never been deep in social issues. You've always been deep in love. It's always love, phenomenal woman.
I do touch on social issues.
Yes.
I mean, this is where we're living in this same context. So you can't close your eyes and act like these things are not happening. And if you have a platform, use it.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, me, I'm just about love. Like,
most of the time.
Yeah, just chill. Like, mapenzi too. Ikwe too easy. Life were a bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we move in love and compassion.
Where does this stem from? Did you see your mom in love with your dad? Where did it stem from? Where did this love story stem from?
Single parent home.
Yeah. You never saw your mom in love with your dad, Amma?
I mean, my dad. I don't even want to talk about him because he's non-existent to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So the love that my mom gave me and my sister, I think, is the beginning of it for me.
Yeah.
Seeing how she sacrificed so much for the extended family, seeing how much she's been supportive of her kids. I think from the family unit, there's so much love.
Yeah.
And then maybe even the lack of a father is part of the reason. Maybe we can find out in therapy.
Yes.
Excuse me. But I mean, I've just always been surrounded by love. So I want to, and I have so much more of it to give.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I always see most girls, what they see in front of their eyes is now their life. That's what it is. You know? And I can imagine, do you ever want to, think about having a family and things like that? Because normal family units most of the time are mom, dad, and kids. What do you think about that setup? How do you think about it?
I think it's changed. Coming from a single parent home, I understand now that there's so many different dynamics to family. Where there's love, for me, as long as there's love in that unit, that's the family. Yeah. I don't know when I'll get to have my own family. I haven't thought that far just yet.
Yes.
I know I'd love to have kids.
Does mom pester you for that question? It's like,
no. My mom is so cool. Like, she's
not your typical African mom.
Yeah, she's like, what makes you happy? I'll support you, whatever you need. Yeah. So it's not really a big convo.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because you do know the question I'm about to ask you as well.
We're not going to ask what you want to ask.
People have put you to question so many times about who you're dating and who you're with. I know when you were dating JT Kapik, I was there when it happened.
That's what was going on.
I was there when it happened. There are photos to show. There are photos on the internet.
Oh, wow.
JT Kapik
Don't believe everything you see on the internet.
I know. I'm not dumb.
Yeah. That's my bestest friend.
But you guys had such a beautiful friendship, and it almost looked like a beautiful love story, because we'd meet you in the club, you're out and about. Club iko hapa ABC nitakuaje?
Mercury.
Hapo ndio tungepatana sana. And that conversation of who is Fena dating?
Yeah.
Who is Fena with? What does she do? It's one you've always been asked.
Yeah, and I don't even think I've ever answered. And
why don't you answer it?
Because it's personal. It's
a personal affair.
I feel like you already have so much access to my life. It's like, I can keep you guessing. It's fun to keep you guessing. But at the end of the day, I want to protect mine, what's in my space, what's in my circle. Even with my family, I give you just enough access to know who my family is and see how they support me. But I have a line no one can cross, you know. So that for me has always been, it's again that thing for setting yourself up to be owned by people. Yeah, so if you see me in the streets kissing a random person outside, I haven't confirmed or denied anything, you know. So it's just like, wewe unakula nani kwako?
There's something I would want to say, but you'll have to bleep it a lot. I was telling someone, because someone saw me with some jamaa. Akamenya mnakani kama, nikamwambia sasa, why are you worried about parts that you will never get to enjoy?
Imagine.
You're excited about people's private part. Na wewe hutawahi onja. Why are you worried? Si wote ushughulika zile utaonja.
Like, you know, so I mean, to each their own.
No, but you see, why I asked that was because it's always made you become questionable when it comes to your sexuality. They always push that narrative.
Yeah.
And of course, that's risky for anyone in Kenya.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's no one's business.
Yeah.
I think we have bigger issues to obsess
dealt with.
over,
Yeah.
rather than what people do in their private time. Yeah.
I like that, and we have to respect how people move.
Yeah.
And we have to even look at what they do for us more than what we want from them.
Yeah.
What is she giving me? Great music. That's what we
Yeah,
need.
yeah.
Is she feeling our hearts? That's what we need. So I've helped you guys, whoever asked those questions, so much. It's right there, and I'm excited to see how you're going to be doing with this album, Love ArtLust. I've already enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It has so many stories of love.
Yeah.
A little bit of party here and there.
Yes, yes.
Rise Up is you and Dufla Diligon. Sounds very socially aware. It's a very
Yeah.
social song.
Yeah.
These other love songs, they found you in what moments?
In different moments.
Yeah.
Sinabe was like, I've been chronically single.
For how long? How long were you single and you really...
Forever, dude. Like,
No!
Remember Trouble from Unleashed? I've been single for too long. I never get it right, never stay too long. At the first sight of trouble, I'm gone. And I can tell from the looks of you that you're trouble. So I'm just here helping single people find partners.
How what is the longest time you've been single?
I have been single for long.
Girl.
Maybe like 4 years. Like
Eh.
properly single. I mean, I date in between, but I haven't been in a serious relationship.
A whole
whole
country's election ni mwaka mmoja tu election,
Imagine,
miaka
hakuna mtu
4.
ameapishwa bado.
Unaanguka.
It's because these last few years it's just work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to be in a position to sustain myself comfortably, and then now allow someone else into my life permanently or semi-permanently as things go. But I love dating. I enjoy dating. So in between, it's just like I'm seeing someone here or there, but nothing has been
Solid.
put on paper.
What would make it solid for you? What would make a relationship with Fena be like, yes, I'm dating Fena? Would it be a ring? Would it be what would it be?
I don't know, but I'm a homebody, so we'd probably be spending a lot of time together
At home?
Yeah, I'm a homebody, or drives, like going for drives.
Dereva maji unamkumbuka?
Yeah, or a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
Just I'll do what you're down for. Me, if I'm yours and you're mine, like whatever goes. I'm
Yeah?
down for whatever. Yeah.
I like that, and I can imagine people have tried to hook you up here and there. It's like, meet this friend of mine, see how it will go for you guys.
Ebu,
Are you
not
well with
enough.
hookups? Eh?
Not enough. So you guys hook me up.
Would you get onto a dating site if you needed to? Have you ever tried a dating site in the first
No,
place?
I downloaded Bumble briefly in New York, and then I panicked and deleted.
No!
And that would be like the one place where I'd imagine I'd just like go crazy. But I was just like, ai huku neza pata serial killer.
Avada. Aya la bede stories za
Industry nzima
states.
ishe hivyo.
Lakini stories za states hata mi uogopa. I won't lie. When I see that you're from another country, go, hey, are you going to kill us?
Here someone would be like, usimule demo asema ngwe. Sitaki kuchomewa hivyo.
Alikuwa kwa dating site.
Yeah, but I'm lately my friends have been like telling me about their dating experiences on apps. So I'm curious, but I don't know if I'll use a pseudonym or if I'll just show up as myself.
Guy, you have to use other pictures.
I have to use someone else's picture. Whose picture here can I use? Can I use
I
yours,
know
Kate?
the one you'll use. Najua ule utaweka. Nitakwambia usijali. Utaweka alafu upeane description
But
hapo.
I prefer meeting people in person.
Yeah.
And then me, I'm a sucker for love. Kwanza I'm those guys who believe in love at first sight.
Oh my God!
That's why I'm single.
Unapenda mapenzi sana.
Napenda
Mapenzi, unajua
mapenzi.
mapenzi ya Nairobi, character development and shit, gotta be...
Character dev. But pia sisi ndio character developers. You develop mine, I develop yours.
Allah.
No, but there's good love out here also. I've seen I know a few people in really great relationships. So it's not all gloom and doom.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are good versions that are going to be happening.
Yeah.
I can't ever stop the conversation of music because that's how I know you. That's where we started, without asking you how you feel about governance right now. You know, you've always been at the forefront for, of course, better pay for musicians, you know, better education for them to know how to get their right music and things like that.
Yeah.
What do you think about the move with governance right now? We've tried Talanta Hela, you know, tried to see if musicians and content creators can get a chunk of something. Then we have this perspective of taxing musicians. Then we have this aspect of you being sent for 3,000 shillings by MCSK. Or is it 1,500? I don't know which is which.
Mine was 2K something.
You were sent how much?
2K something. I can't even remember. I think ilikulwa na fuliza.
MCSK mrudishe hiyo do.
I stopped talking about MCSK. I just got tired. I got tired of showing up at the office trying to get answers. So I'm kind of in a space of, I'm jaded right now.
Yes.
That's not where I'm making my money. Yeah.
Where are you making your money?
I mean, we do shows, we do brand deals. We have this community lifestyle thing we're doing. So it's a lot more than 2K. Yeah.
As compared to waiting for what?
I mean, mmecheza semangwe kwa radio how many years? You know.
Mwacha siku
amata steam.
Kwanza mimi nikikumbuka nimecheza hiyo ngoma sana. Ukakuja hizo royalties sana sijui kantarudi na do.
Unajua, so we've worked so hard with barely anything to show for it because that royalty is what now validates me as a musician.
Yeah.
So since you've decided I'm not worth that royalty, then kaeni nayo. Hapo ndo nimefika. Wakifix system, send me my money, run me my check.
Lakini sasa tukaanza kuandika hiyo check inafaa kwa juu sana.
Inafaa kwa imeandikwa nzito. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
To pay you for performance, how much would we pay you to perform?
A lot.
What is a lot? Tell us now, they're listening.
No, I won't tell them. They just call my management and find out.
So always tupea ka snippet tujue ndio tuanze ku budget.
I think pia also ina depend pia na budget yako. Sisi wale wabaya. Tunaweza ongea lakini siku hizi kuongea imekuwa ngumu kiasi because one of the challenges watu wangu wakicheka huko nyuma.
Yeah.
The challenge we faced for a long time was upping the rate card. So they'd rather pay the really high earning artists or give your money to someone who'll ask for less. So we'd miss out on gigs for quite a while there, trying to hold on to the rate card. But then now it's just like in the rate card.
Yeah.
I mean, we have...
You either play with it or you don't.
Play with it or respect it, show that you respect it, and then we talk. But the idea is to build a culture of paying artists well. Yeah, and especially even female artists. I feel like you guys know we're paid a lot less for many different reasons, but trying to push for better pay.
I know, I like that because I remember there's a time the whole argument about Kenyan music, and I remember Eric Omondi was getting into it, and I got so mad because he said, oh, pay Calligraph 500k and then pay Nadia 250. I was like, kwani asilivyokaa huyo? Kwani hawatoi ngoma wote?
That's what he said. I didn't catch
I remember of course he was fighting for the whole agenda, but that triggered me because I'm a woman.
Yeah.
But I'll always be triggered by female stuff. I'm like, hey, and women rights.
Justification to it. Like, oh, she's that. No, there's a reason she's on that lineup.
Yes.
So pay her as much as you're paying your top male
artist.
Or at least somewhere within the same ballpark. Not literally half of what he's earning, you know.
Because it's wrong.
Yeah. So that really changed my perspective over the years. Like, mimi kila Sunday naitwa hizi shows, lineup iko na Kali, iko na nani. And these guys are being paid maybe even triple what I'm being paid.
Nah.
It's like, nah, it's okay. Acha tu nilale njaa. Us guys are working hard.
Yeah.
To focus on our community. Then the money will come.
But I have a different perspective. What if you all decided, even as artists, male and female, that we will declare how much we're being paid, na mtu asichukue anything less?
Hiyo ni tricky.
Mwamwe kama watu, unajua concert itaitwa. Mseme Kali analipwa 1M, kila mtu alipe 1M.
Hiyo itakuwa ngumu. That's in an ideal world, you know. But ni hard because pia tena mfuko yako ni yako. So kuna hiyo kitu ya he's probably making an M and 5M somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's workable.
You don't think Kenyan artists
It
are
would
that
be-
united to move together like that?
Do Nigerians say how much they're paid? I don't think anyone declares their salary.
No one does.
It's the same way you won't tell us how much you're being paid at your day job or something, you know, like.
But we should. Me, I realized I should, because the last time I was working at a station, I realized I was being underpaid compared to everyone else, because we hadn't put a mark. And no one was telling you, where by the mean nalipwa 5, so where unalipwa 50 bob.
Kika max zinaweza work, but siwezi kuambia nimelipwa how much leo exactly, because mfuko yangu ni yangu, unajua?
Yeah.
So we can have tiers, we can have like a benchmark, which I feel like more and more there is. You already kind of know how much someone would be paid for a certain gig based on the work, just everything around them. I'm really not for declaring the amount, but
let's
tiering. Let's create a unionized sense of mbona nisilipwe e bracket
na msiende chini ya hiyo. I think that's safer for everyone. It will work better when it comes to money.
Alafu pia nikisema nalipoaje, alafu nitaambia madhe nini, unajua unafaa umwambie juzi nilipoa 10,000.
Kwani unamdanganya? Unajua ataona hii podcast. Ataona, nitamtumia.
Ataona, lakini madhe anajua ni ngapi.
I like that. It's really great to see you elevate and grow and just be yourself. Are we going to see a version of you that is in production?
Yeah, I mean, I've co-produced still on this project.
Yeah.
Not as much as Phenomenon and Unleashed.
Yeah.
But right now I just want to do singles after this album. So whichever way it goes, like I just want to do now some bangers. I haven't given you guys a club banger in so long.
You need a kabanga. Kamoja tu. Kamoja.
Niko na kadhaa nimekuwa nikiziweka kwa crates. So soon after, as we're rolling out this album, we'll start bringing in new music.
And bangers usually give you a lot of concerts most of the time.
Yeah, those are the ones for mainstream.
How have been your concert experiences in Kenya?
Great.
You're handled okay? There's a time you complained kidogo.
Yeah, after that, hey, Mama D's in the house. Yeah, and it really, that was necessary.
What exactly happened? Take me back.
First it took us like 5 hours to access tags and whatnot. And
This remind me the concert?
I think it was a Wizkid concert at KCC.
Yes.
It was raining. My team, some of my team who need to come on stage, like my dancers, my videographer, wanaambiwa watembe KCC, wendo ingie general admission. We're supposed to be on stage.
Yeah.
What are they, like, what's going on?
Why are they not getting quick access? Yeah.
To come with me on stage. We don't have a tent backstage, so we're outside in the rain. No food, nothing. Like, it was just, nyinyi kujeni muimbe muende. Like there was no, even had an altercation with the head of security. Nakwanga kichwa ngumu, but I was just like, dude, you can't push us around. There's a reason we're on this lineup. Yes. So accord me that kind of respect. I'm not asking for too much. And I never ask for too much.
Which you should. Come to think about it now, I'm like, which you should.
But I'm here to work. But
let me tell you, babe,
my work.
Me, I've started becoming like that. It's like when I land, I want my wine, I want my steak, I want that. And if not, I'm not participating.
So we
facilitate my moving. Yeah, we have to do that.
Yeah.
Because you see, I remember Nicki Minaj said it. She's like, me, when I ask, they'll say I'm a BITC, whatever. But when Lil Wayne asks,
they'll
it's
go
him.
above and beyond.
So it's time we start asking.
We do ask. I mean, ever since then, if it's not met, if the rider isn't met, we have a problem.
What does a Fena rider
my
have?
rider is so simple.
Yes. What does your rider have?
Just food, drinks.
What kind of food? I know you're specific.
No, a healthy meal. A healthy balanced meal for everyone in the team.
Yes.
Soft drinks for everyone. Unlimited water for everyone. Drinks.
What do you prefer? What drink do you prefer?
For me, I'll do a bottle of whiskey or something.
A nice whiskey, okay.
We'll have a bottle maybe of, I don't know, mnapenda.
Some wine for the girls.
We do, like, we don't overdo it because we're here to work. So a bottle for my band, a bottle for me, a bottle for my team, that type of thing. I used to have rum and raisins. Na muirudishe kwa Raida tafadhali.
Kwa Raida ya Fena, they have to be rum and raisin chocolates.
Rum and raisin chocolate.
Yes.
Towels, face towels. What else? And do other small things like snacks. Yeah.
And of course, make sure security guy is there too.
Security, that one is...
That's a very good rider.
Yeah, it's decent.
Yes, it's essential.
So if you can't give me just the basics, why am I here? Yeah.
You're asking for bare minimum.
Yeah. Tutaanza kuongeza vitu.
Useme you want 25-year-old whiskey kama sivyo. Get out.
My whiskey is top shelf though. Hapo ndo mu kushika sasa.
I see you. I see you, babe. I really want to see you get into production because I feel like you have a very good ear of music and sound. So I want to see you get into production. I want to see you not really mentor. Is it mentor? Or I'd like you to produce a musician.
Yeah. I've been working on that low key, but bado, we'll get to that.
There's time for that eventually.
There's one artist we're working closely with, but we're yet to dive into his projects.
Yes.
But he's amazing. It's called Aine.
Aine.
Yeah.
Okay.
He plays in my band currently, but he's also a really great writer and musician. So just giving access to resources, that's the best I can do for now.
Yeah.
Tugi's in my band as well. If he needs anything, he can call. Like, that's the kind of setup we're building. Eventually, once I have a good blueprint, then we can carry it forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
It's really nice to see you.
You
Cheers,
too.
my love.
Cheers. Cheers. It's been awesome. Cheers, guys. Love ArtLust is out.
Yes.
It's been beautiful rolling this out, talking about it, coming out of the woodworks. Because kila mtu ako Fena amepotea, menyamaza. I'm very much here.
I'm so happy. The journey of Fena, Love ArtLust, of course, is out. Remember, this is the POV podcast. Stream us live on Boomplay, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere.
Nice.
Nice.
Cheers.